Hi everybody, hope you're well. As the title of this video would suggest, this is indeed the very first and the very last video. It's the first video from our new caravan, and it's the last video of 2023, and it's been quite the year. Obviously we've ended up in a place that we never actually thought we'd ever end up, but you know, this year we've spent a lot of time away in the caravan. We spent more time away doing ad hoc little weekends away this year than any other point in the last 6-7 years maybe, and we've thoroughly enjoyed it. It's renewed our enthusiasm for all things caravanning, and it's got us to this place now, and we're really looking forward to the new year. Now I just want to say huge thank you to everybody who has commented on the last couple of videos, obviously dealing with this thing, and some of the comments have been really lovely, so thank you very much. I haven't replied to every single one of them because I do take time to read them, and it does take me a while to go through them all, so apologies if you haven't had a reply yet. I'm going to try and go through all of them as much as I possibly can, because they're not just comments, they're stories and they're feedback, and you know, it's lovely interaction with you guys, and I thoroughly enjoy reading them. So don't worry, I'm getting around to it, so just bear with. I've got some time over Christmas that we can do that, so thank you very much once again to everybody that has commented. There's been a couple of comments that I just want to touch upon, because I'm a little bit worried there may be a feeling that isn't being vocalized in the comments section. There's a couple of comments that are basically boiled down to: you've got a new van, congratulations, you're now not relevant for us, you were relevant for us at the beginning but not anymore, thanks, bye-bye. So to say that we're no longer relevant is a bit of a kick in the teeth, because I would like to think we are relevant, and certainly some of the things that I've got planned for the new year, projects around here, most definitely will not be relevant for everybody, but they will be relevant to some people. We're no longer relevant for families with small children. I think that's a truthful thing, but then we never really were. Maybe in the not too distant future we'll be relevant for couples going away with their grandkids. Maybe in the not too distant future we'll be, you know, exploring different types of sites that are relevant to other people. So I think we're relevant but not relevant to everybody. I do have penned down in my list of video ideas back to basic videos, and just really focusing on a few things around the caravan, because you know, this is a new van for me and I'm learning once again on how to use this thing properly. It doesn't matter whether you've got a 2003 Eldis, a 2022 Coachman, it doesn't matter if you've got a 1990 Fleetwood. There are things that we all do which are all the same, and there are things that we all look for which are very common, and I think that in that process of us coming together, there are things that we can help you with, information we can provide you with, top tips, whatever it may be. There are things there that will be relevant for somebody but not relevant for everybody. You know, you could say that about people who have a Coachman or who have a Swift or have a Bailey. Their content about things that annoy them or they love in their van are not relevant for everybody else. So bear with me with that. Now, whilst we're talking about video ideas and content ideas, I've been penning down over the last few weeks some ideas and some projects that I want to do in this caravan, and there are a number of things that I'm going to do. I was asked actually in the comments, when does the tinkering start? Well, it already has. I've already changed the TV amp over. Anybody who's seen my Instagram would have seen I've changed the TV amplifier over to one that's got a signal indicator in the LED. I find it incredibly useful. Before you even turn a TV on, before you power anything up, you can literally just turn the antenna to work out where the strongest signal is, not based upon what everybody else's antennas are doing on the campsite, which is what we all do, isn't it? We all look to see where the antennas are looking, but I can just swivel it around and the LED changes. I put that up on my Instagram, and we had it in our last van. I loved it. I've got another one, put it in this one. So that's one thing I've done. The radio in this caravan was broken as well. The DAB antenna socket had snapped. And I'll be honest with you, that's probably the 4th or the 5th radio that I've seen with a snapped antenna. And the reason for that is that the connecting cable on the back of the radio is way too stiff, and the socket is ever so fragile, and they take no load left or right, and basically what happens, they snap. And that's it, that's the end of it. Now I could have taken it back, I could have got another radio, I could have waited for a warranty claim, or I could just take it home, unsolder it, buy the new part at 50 something pence, put a new one in, bring it back up and fix it. Well, that's what I did. So I fixed the radio. So that's another job I've done. I've also installed iNet, which I did take out of our last caravan and put that in this one, and that's working beautifully with our heating system. I would have done a video on that, but it's pointless because you can no longer buy them, and I think that's a real travesty. Actually, it's a real issue. What else have I done? Oh, I've added a Bluetooth dongle onto our solar controller. Remember in the last caravan I changed the solar controller over. This has got that Truma system in it, but this caravan doesn't have what I like to think a usable and an informative battery level indicator. It has one with a row of LEDs, but I like to see numbers. I like to see what's going on. So you can get the little Bluetooth modules which plug straight into those. They're readily available. I'll put a link to them down below. They're only a couple of quid. You can buy them from AliExpress actually. Just plug it in and download the god-awful app, and it shows you what the numbers are. It shows you how much power is coming in from the panel, what the state of charge is with the battery, and also gives you some history as well. So that's another thing I've done. But project-wise, let's get back on track. Project-wise, there are, I think, 4, it might be 5 videos that I'm going to focus on, the separate projects improving the water system in this caravan. We've got an onboard tank, and I want to make it so we get the most out of that. I'm also going to install a filter. That's going to be quite good. They're very expensive though, so I may have to wait on that for a little bit because they're about 300 quid, the ones that I'm going for. But I'm going to add that in as well. But I'm going to make the water tank more usable. The Bailey interpretation of an onboard water tank is an interesting one. And I won't go into it now, but I'm going to make it better. So if you've got an Evora, or an Alicanto, or even a Unicorn, this might be a useful video. What else have I got? Oh, I've got some back to basics videos as well on things I'm going to do about when you set up a caravan. I'm going to focus on a couple of things which we often get wrong, probably you get wrong, certainly you would have got wrong in the past, but people who are coming into this won't know, so I'm going to focus on those. And I'm also going to address the elephant in the room. How do you level a twin axle and then use the Alco wheel locks? I'm going to address that one. Now, another question I had in the last video is, why was there such a long period of time between us selling the Ridgeway and picking this one up? Well, it was a perfect storm of nothing going right, to be absolutely honest with you. This caravan had a few things that needed to be repaired, and they were the window locks, the window latches. They needed to be replaced because they had been snapped, and they were out of stock from the manufacturer, and so that's what the holdup was there for one part. I also went in for surgery to have a lump removed. Don't worry, it's fine, it's all good, but I haven't been particularly great for a number of weeks. Still feeling a little bit at the moment, but I'm feeling a lot better. So that was another thing, and generally it was just a perfect storm of not being available. We needed the caravan back for Christmas because we absolutely needed to get rid of the Mountain O caravan, which was piled up in our living room. And if you've ever bought a caravan, if you've owned a caravan and you've been buying stuff, you know that that pile gets ever bigger. And also, if you take it in for a service, when you take stuff out and you pile it in the house, that pile is just huge, isn't it? You would never believe how much space an Aqua Roller, Wastemaster, chairs and some other bits and bobs takes up in your house, but there we are. We needed to get rid of that, and thankfully we have. We've settled in now, I think. Angela and I came up Saturday and we unboxed everything, we put things around. We've put knickknacks here, there and everywhere. It looks homely. I think it looks all right. I'll give you a full tour of it when we're on site, I think, but we've been fiddling with what knick-knack goes where. Sad news, I've had to say goodbye to my long-suffering fake lavender plant that I've had for a number of years. It just fell apart, and we could no longer have that. So I was told it's not going back in the caravan. So Angela did a blinder. She went on Shein, I think it was, and she bought a load of things as well. I went down to Dunelm and I bought a load of fake succulents, which I think look okay. I'll give you a show of those a bit later on. You'll notice there's no air conditioning. They couldn't schedule that in. I couldn't schedule that in. No one could get together in time to do that before Christmas. So this thing does have to go back to have its air conditioning installed in January. But that's a good thing, actually, because I wanted to video what actually takes place, what actually happens when you have an air conditioning installed. So I'm going to arrange with the dealership. They've already said in principle that's fine for me to film. I'm going to film exactly what takes place when they put an air conditioning unit in. And I think you might find that interested if you're into or considering buying an AC unit. I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but the one we've gone for is the bigger unit. It's the Comfort. I get them mixed up in my head. The Compact is what we had before. The Comfort is the new one. The Comfort will fit in there, and I think it's going to do a great job in this van. So I'm going to follow the technicians, see what they do, how they do it, and then make a video to show you exactly what takes place in that. So it is quite good in that respect that, you know, it has to go back to have it installed, because I can then film it and I can share that update with you guys. So before I go, I'm just going to let you know what we're up to next year. I think, off the top of my head, it's 11 holidays that we've got booked for next year. We're going to share some of those with you. We're not going to share all of them, but we're going to share some of those with you, because I think there's some great stories to be told in the places that we're going to be going. Now we're heading on over to the Brecon Beacons in the new year, which I'm really looking forward to. And we're also going down to Concierge Camping, which is down where, pretty much close to where I used to work. And that's based upon some of the content and some of the videos that a fantastic channel has created called Mac and Sarah. Now they've got a really lovely channel, and it's so relaxing and so lovely to watch. Angela has literally been watching all of their content, but they did a great review on Concierge Camping, and we're going down there for the Japanese street food. And we're also going to the Brecon Beacons because there's so much around there that we want to do, because it really ticks our boxes of what we want to do when we're down there. Up there, across there, over there, whilst we're on site. So I'm going to put a link to their channel down below. Please do head on over and subscribe to their channel, because their channel is lovely. And to make sure they are aware that you're there because of us, pop into any video of theirs and just say we sent them, because it's always nice to know who has sent you to your channel, because sometimes, as creators will know, sometimes you get a right spike and you have no idea how people have found your channel. You have no idea what they're watching or how they've got to you or where it's been recommended from, and it's always lovely to know where people have come from when they're subscribing to your channel. And it's amazing to think that with all the subscribers that we have on this channel, it's amazing to think that the vast majority of people who watch our content are not subscribed. It's absolutely staggering. So you know what, please do hit a subscribe button to ours and other channels, because that really does help tune the algorithm. If it's caravanning you want, hit the subscribe button to a number of caravanning channels, because then YouTube will then start recommending more. YouTube will then start to tune its algorithm to give you more content of channels which are so small that it's so easy to miss, but they produce such great content and such wonderful information. You know, I've learned so much from channels that have got less than 100 subscribers, and they really do provide a fantastic entertainment. I've watched so many of them over the past few months, you know, since we've not had a van, and I've really thoroughly enjoyed it. And I've got some particular favourites, which maybe in a future video I'm going to go into some of the channels that I really rate, recommend, noteworthy channels. I'm going to change what I recommend on our channel as well, because I've got a list of noteworthy channels. I'm going to change all that, I think, because of the stuff that I found. Really, really good stuff. So yes, on that bombshell, please do hit the subscribe button. And that's it from us, and the end of 2023. So please, look, have a lovely Christmas, have a lovely New Year, and then we will see you again in January, and I promise that our upload schedule will be a lot more regular in the new year. I've got so much planned, so much good stuff, and it's going to be great. So look, from our family to yours, have a very lovely Christmas, and we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.